Great.
Great. Hi, Nina.
Hello, Elsa.
Hi.
Yeah,
First of
hi.
all, thank you so much for joining this interview slash conversation about breathing and chronic pain. But first of all, I'm curious, who are you, Nina, and what do you do?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, my name is Nina Melhus, and my background is actually from marketing. I've been doing marketing for 25 years, and for most of those years, I was marketing manager. And that was a very, very stressful period of my life. I was also at the time a single mother. And although I thought that I was quite capable of dealing with all that stress, I think my body didn't really agree to that. And I
Except me.
ended up, yeah, I ended up being burned out and really ill. And
Wow.
I had to quit my job after staying at home for more than a year. And
That
then I
sounds tough.
started, yes, it was a tough period of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it also made my life change in a very positive direction after a while, because what I did, I started to look for good tools for how to be able to regulate my own nervous system. I've always been interested in how the body works and how the brain works. And as I did that, I came across cognitive behavioral therapy, which really helped me. And I decided to certify as a CBT coach.
And what's
But
a CBT coach?
CBT, that's cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
yeah. So, but I still was looking for a tool that I could use more directly to regulate the body.
Mm.
And then I came across breathing. And that really made a big change for me and my health. And I came across a breathing method called the oxygen advantage. And this method is developed by a person called Patrick McEwen. He's from Ireland, and he is one of the world's most well-known breathing experts. His methods are based on something called the Buteyko method, which is from Ukraine originally. And it's all based on science. So it helped me a lot. I was able to regulate my own stress levels.
Mm.
I had much better sleep. My mental clarity was really improving. I could deal with anxiety in a much better way. And I decided to certify. So I certified as an Oxygen Advantage advanced breathing instructor. And now I work full time trying to help people breathing better for better health, better sleep, and better performance. Yeah.
That's so interesting, Nina. And how long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing it for the last couple of years full
Yes,
time. Yes.
it's very interesting. And I mean, I'm wondering because breathing is something that everyone does.
Yeah.
But how would you say that a breathing expert can help us breathe better?
Yeah, it's true, as you say, that your breathing is automatic, um, but it's also a habit.
Hmm.
And like all other habits, you are not necessarily very conscious about how you are breathing. It just happens. And and sometimes, and very often actually, our breathing is dysfunctional.
Okay.
We see that most of us has a dysfunctional breathing pattern, and especially those with chronic diseases, chronic pain diseases, that is very, very common.
Mm.
And it really affects our health in a very big way.
Yes.
So, and since it's like, well, you don't really know yourself that you are breathing dysfunctional, sometimes you need a professional breathing instructor to assess your breathing pattern, to look into how are you breathing biomechanically, how is your breathing biochemical, and how is it concerned to the physiological parts of you. So when I work one-on-one with people, I spend the first time trying to get a picture of how is your breathing pattern, because it's personal and it's very individual. And then we can tailor exercises due to what you need. So what I
Exactly.
work with is your everyday breathing. I'm
Exactly.
not working like a yoga instructor who will help you with your breathing the 1 hour that you're laying on the yoga mat during the week maybe. What I'm concerned about is how do you breathe for the rest 23 hours of the day. So
Okay.
how is your breathing when you are relaxing? How is your breathing when you are in activity? If you are exercising, and how is your breathing when you are sleeping? Because
Interesting.
that's, yes, and it really makes a big impact on your health and your anxiety and your brain fog and all of these things that stressed people often have problems with.
Exactly. You mentioned also that you work with people with chronic pain, and a lot of our viewers have fibromyalgia. This
Yeah.
is a part of why we are here today.
Mm.
And but what is the most important connection uh, with between breathing, stress, and pain that most people don't know? Because I know that you help a lot of people with chronic pain.
Mm. Yeah, I think most people know that if you are very stressed or if you are in a lot of pain, that will affect the way you breathe.
Mm.
Most people can recognize that your breathing will become more upper chest maybe, and it will become faster and harder, and maybe through the mouth as well. But what most people don't know is it's also the other way around. So if your breathing pattern, your habitual breathing pattern is dysfunctional, that will in itself cause your body to be more stressed, and it will
Okay.
cause more or a higher perception of pain because it affects the nervous system in a very significant way.
That's
So
very
you
interesting.
can, it's very interesting, yeah, and that means that you can actually lay on your sofa and read a book, and you can feel relaxed and think that, oh, no, I'm relaxing. There's no stress around me. I'm giving my body some relaxed time, some recover time. But if you are breathing dysfunctional, you will still send signals to the brain that you are a bit in danger.
Okay.
And the body will then keep you in fight or flight, although you don't feel stressed, only due to a habitual breathing pattern that is dysfunctional.
I don't think a lot of people know this, Nina, actually.
No, I think it came as a surprise for me as well when I learned this.
Yes.
Yes.
I reckon.
Mm.
And how does breathing influence the body's ability for regulating stress?
Yeah, we have a center in our brain that constantly spies on our breathing.
Okay.
Yes. So, and the brain will pick up on your breathing, and it will interpret that. So if your breathing is upper chest, fast, hard, through the mouth, it will be interpreted as if you are in danger.
Okay. So it's
And
not
then
only the other way around.
it's both ways.
It's both
It's
ways.
both ways, yes. So it's a sort of a vicious circle,
Yeah.
So, but that also means that sometimes it can be hard to do something about the stress because that's normally due to circumstances around you that you are not in control of. And sometimes it's hard to control your pain, it happens to you. But you can control the breathing. So by controlling the breathing, you can affect the stress and the pain. So that is the good news. So if you learn the tools, you can really affect your own stress levels and your perception of pain.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's very good for good news for a lot of our viewers, I think. Is it possible to breathe in a way that increases discomfort?
Yes, definitely. When you breathe, yeah, we call it dysfunctional.
Yes.
When your breathing is upper chest, mostly, when it is hard and fast, and you can hear your own breathing, and it's through the mouth, then it will give you a lot of symptoms that cause discomfort. So that can be anything from tension in your neck, tension in your shoulders, your jaw. If you breathe upper chest, you will engage these muscles. You'll go like this. I'm exaggerating a little bit here, just to
That's good.
yeah.
It's a good thing.
And remember, we are breathing between 20 and 25,000 breaths per day.
Okay.
Yes. And if a lot of those breaths include using those muscles here, of course you will have tension. And you don't need them for breathing. That's the secondary muscles, breathing muscles, these.
Yeah.
So your main breathing muscle is your diaphragm. So that's the muscle that should move when you breathe. So tension in your shoulders, neck, jaw. It can be pain in your lower back. It can be fatigue, increased pain perception, brain fog, a higher or more anxiety, sometimes even panic attacks. It can be frequent sighing or frequent yawning. It can be digestion problems. There's a lot of symptoms that dysfunctional breathing alone can give you.
I was not aware that dysfunctional breathing can cause lower back pain and yawning.
No,
That was
most
new.
yeah, most people don't know this.
No.
It can also cause you to make, you're stopping breathing, or, you can catch yourself feeling, oh, I haven't been breathing now for a while.
Oh.
And then you will need to make a big sigh, to go like this,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's a sign of dysfunctional breathing as well. It's very much related to stress, They are also talking about that you can have email apnea. Sleep
Really?
apnea, when you stop breathing during your sleep.
Yeah.
We can see that people get so stressed when they open their inbox of their email that they stop breathing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something to think about.
It is. Yeah. And since we're not really aware of how we breathe, so
No.
that's some of the first things I focus on when I work with people, is your consciousness when it comes to breathing. To drop into your breathing several times a day and ask yourself, how am I breathing now? And what can I do to change this in a more positive direction? Because your breathing is automatic, but you can also overrule it with your willpower.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Do you have any simple technique, Nina, when people are going to be more aware of their breathing? I mean, if anyone that listens to us today wants to start at home, just be more mindful of the breathing, do you have any small techniques for them to start with?
Yeah. Functional breathing is, I use this a three-letter acronym
Yes.
to describe it. We call it LSD, which has got nothing to do with drugs.
It's breathing related.
It's breathing related, yes. It's just to remember that the L stands for light. You should breathe light. The S stands for slow, and D stands for deep. So you should for functional breathing, breathe light, slow, and deep, and through the nose. And I'm always like to tailor these exercises for the different people, because there's no size fits all when it comes to breathing exercises. It's really important to have tailored exercises. But there are some things that you can do without really knowing too much about it. And that's being aware of breathing less air, breathing slower, and breathing deeper, and breathing through the nose. And I think maybe the easiest thing to start with on your own is to be more aware of, am I breathing through the nose or am I breathing through the mouth? And start to train yourself, because most people will be, or a lot of people will be, a bit surprised that they actually breathe quite a lot through the mouth, even without knowing it. So there's so many advantages when it comes to nose breathing, and there's so many disadvantages when it comes to mouth breathing.
Okay.
Yes, to breathe through the mouth has absolutely no advantage at all. Absolutely none.
Really?
Yeah, The only reason we do it is because it's easy, you know, because it will get, it's a bigger hole. It will get, you will feel that you will get more oxygen if you do that. You will get more oxygen if you do that. But what you
Okay.
really do is that you will constantly put your body into fight or flight when you breathe through the mouth.
Okay.
And you really don't want that.
No.
Especially if you struggle with chronic pain and fatigue and anxiety. That's not what you want.
No.
So yeah, so that is probably what I would start with. Be aware of how you're breathing. Try to find out, am I breathing through the nose when I'm sleeping, or am I breathing through the mouth? And take steps to breathe more through the nose. There's several ways of doing that. Yeah.
Well, what is the first rule when you start breathing through your nose? Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. Be aware of it. Yeah. And most people find it, and especially if you struggle with fibromyalgia, a lot of people with these kinds of chronic diseases, they have a very low tolerance for CO2.
Okay.
And if you have a low tolerance for CO2, your body will send signals to your brain that you need to breathe more often.
Okay.
And that is,
can I just stop you 2 seconds? What do you mean when you say low tolerance of CO2?
What I mean is, when we are breathing, we are breathing oxygen into the body, and the oxygen is traveling with the blood, on the red blood cells, to be distributed out to the cells throughout the body, where they will contribute to energy production inside the cells. That's what we need the oxygen for. And in that process, when oxygen makes energy inside the cells, CO2 is a byproduct. And CO2 then goes back to the bloodstream, and it goes back to the lungs, and we breathe it out. We only breathe out 15% of the CO2, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So about 85% of the CO2 remains in the body, in the bloodstream, for a very good reason, because it's not a waste product that many people think it is. It plays a very significant and important role in our body. The level of CO2 determines how often we breathe.
Okay.
It's not because because we lack oxygen. Most people think that's the reason we breathe. It is one of the reasons, but it's not the main reason. So the first thing that sends signals to the brain that now you need to breathe again, it's the level of CO2 that rises in your blood due to the oxygen, the gas exchange, you can say. Was that clear?
Yes, I learned something new.
Great. Great.
Definitely, it was very interesting.
Yeah, and the thing is, your tolerance of CO2 doesn't really have something to do with the metabolic need in your body for breathing. It is habitual.
Okay.
It's habitual. So and this low tolerance of CO2 that is common among chronic pain patients will cause you to need to breathe faster and harder.
Okay.
And that will play into all those symptoms that is uncomfortable. Like I said, you know, the increased pain, the increased anxiety, it will impact your sleep in a negative way. Brain fog, digestion, tension in the neck, all of these things. So when I work with clients, I can, there's an exercise where we can check where your tolerance for CO2 is, so approximately. And I tailor the exercises due to where that level is. And so the point is to slowly make your body used to having more CO2 in the blood without breathing as the first what you feel, that when you feel the need to breathe, you push yourself a little bit, and then the body will make adaptations and your tolerance levels will rise.
Exactly.
So yeah, and it also impacts, now you got me going now, because this is I think this is so interesting, because there's another factor as well, another role that the CO2 plays, which is very, very important. And that is that when the oxygen travels in the red blood cells on its way out to the cells, to be able to be released from the cells and be distributed, be released from the blood cells and be distributed into the cells in the body and the muscles in the brain, we need a certain amount of CO2 in the blood. So if the CO2 levels are too low because we breathe too fast, too much air, then the oxygen will not be able to leave the blood that easily. So you'll have less oxygen delivered to your brain and to your working muscles and to your organs. So it directly impacts the amount of oxygen that you will have in your cells. Which gives, you know, our brain needs a lot of oxygen to function. Our brain is about 2% of our body weight, but it consumes about 20% of the oxygen.
Okay.
Yes, so that's one of the reasons that dysfunctional breathing causes brain fog. And
exactly, that's very interesting, because we know that a lot of people with fibromyalgia has brain fog, as we call it, in addition to pain. So
it's true, and we know that there's a connection between dysfunctional breathing and fibromyalgia. And a lot of the symptoms of dysfunctional breathing are the same symptoms as the symptoms of fibromyalgia. You've got brain fog, you've got fatigue, the feeling of breathlessness, tension, pain. A lot of it is the same.
yeah.
So by learning to breathe better, you can definitely ease your fibromyalgia symptoms.
Do you have a lot of clients today that has fibromyalgia?
I've been working quite a lot with the Norwegian Patients Association for Fibromyalgia patients. So I've been holding several courses around the country for them. So, and then I can see with my own eyes, there's a lot of dysfunctional breathing going on.
Exactly.
And I can see how they recognize this when we talk about it and when we do these different exercises that I teach, that they will feel how it calms their body. Yeah. So that's very meaningful to me to work with that group, because they really, really, really need it.
Yes.
And it's such a, it's a tool that's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got it in your body. It's always available. So you only need to be more conscious about how you breathe and learn some simple techniques to help yourself.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's very interesting, Nina. I think that a lot of us, it's recognizable with the breathing, but the depth that you go into here, it's really a whole science.
It is a whole science, and it's a bit sad, because you're not taught this at medical school.
No.
So much, most doctors and health workers, they don't really know this.
No, exactly.
So, but what I think is very, very good is that there is more and more, it's getting more and more popular to talk about breathing and breathing exercises. And you can see it especially on social media. There's a lot of people sharing exercises. What I think you should be aware of when it comes to exercises being shared that way is that there is no size fits all when it comes to breathing. And it's important to know that an exercise that can put one person into deep relaxation can actually put another person into a panic attack.
Exactly.
The very same exercise. And it all comes down to where lies your tolerance for CO2.
Exactly.
And if you don't know where your tolerance lies, and you just pick up on this exercise somebody has shared, and they've probably shared it out of a good heart, because it probably works for them, be a bit careful. Yeah, go easy on it, I would say. And if you are interested in working on your breath and learning these exercises, I would definitely recommend you find somebody who have this deep knowledge about it, who can coach you, who can assess your breathing patterns and tailor exercises for you.
Exactly. We talked a little bit about it earlier. How do you start with this? I mean, do you have to go online? Could you start with the LSD method that you talked about? Are there any literature that shows this, or?
Oh yes, yes it is. There was a book that came out some years ago. It's called Breath. It's called Breath or Breathe. I can't really remember. It's a book by James Nestor. It's a really, really good book that you can really learn a lot from reading that book. So I would definitely recommend that if you are interested in learning more about breathing. If you want to learn some exercises, You could go to oxygenadvantage.com to read about the Oxygen Advantage method. There you can also find instructors. There are several thousand instructors who are certified in this method throughout the world. So you can find an instructor on the website, and a lot of those instructors also can help you online.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a good place to start. You can also, if you go into, if you Google the Buteyko method, that is also can also be very helpful. But or you could go to YouTube and seek out Oxygen Advantage or Patrick McEwen.
Yeah.
He'll have a lot of exercises also free online.
Exactly. Well, that's a good place to start, Nina. We are going to sum up, but what do you hope viewers take away from this session that we had today?
I guess the main thing I would say, know that breath work can really help you. That breath work can really help with fibromyalgia symptoms. It could help with sleep issues, anxiety issues, brain fog, and yeah. So I think that's the main thing, and know that it is personal.
Yeah.
That your breathing pattern is not the same as your neighbor's breathing pattern. So yeah, and know that no size fits all when it comes to breathing. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nina, for joining us today.
My pleasure.